Everybody is in a low-level panic now all of the time about Trump falling asleep.
War is going on, and the president is trying to end it.
Because then he gets mad. He essentially blames the people around him for the fact that he fell asleep.
The president's been spotted out and about a number of times with bandages on his hands.
Also seen right now is that more and more people are less and less scared, particularly Republicans, of Donald Trump. In fact, you saw today in Indiana, they rejected his redistricting play. Okay. You saw a grand jury reject again to indict Tish James. And so strength has to be in numbers because Donald Trump's physical decline is only matched by his political decline right now.
Yeah, I wonder if Sleepy Joe had his aides as rattled as Donald Trump does, because according to reports, they are in a state of complete panic every day over whether the person that they serve will catch 40 winks live on TV again. Apparently, among many challenges facing the White House right now, such as a struggling economy, newly released Epstein photos, the fact that our allies are deeming the United States a global security threat,
to seeing Denmark, a NATO treaty ally, looking across the Atlantic at the U.S. and seeing a potential threat.
There's one problem that has everyone inside 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue absolutely losing their mind. And that is, according to people inside the administration, Donald Trump falling asleep on camera and in turn, his ailing health.
And it used to be, he got bored and then he would get up and walk out. All of the time. Certainly in the first White House, 90 seconds, he was bored. He was out of the room. Everybody going, now they're going, because he's asleep.
He's asleep. And then what we're really waiting for.
You can't wake him up. Also, the cameras are running. Everybody is in a low-level panic now all of the time about Trump falling asleep. Because then he gets mad.
Is that what you're hearing?
Yes. And then he gets angry. He gets angry. He essentially blames the people around him for the fact that he fell asleep.
Well, that's ridiculous. Well, poor Marco Rubio was trying to talk louder, I think, to keep him awake.
No, and I think that's it. But there is no, you're on camera, so you can't jostle him. Hey, so nobody knows what to do. And you can see it, and they talk about seeing it, that it starts to come on. And he kind of relaxes or the features change. He tilts and then everybody knows the eyes are going to shut.
The eyes shut. And then he just jolts himself awake. Well, it's a bit like being on a plane when your head droops and suddenly you wake up again. And you saw poor Marco Rubio on Monday trying to deal with it and then Trump coming too.
Yes, falling asleep, which considering this is the man that spent years calling Joe Biden Sleepy Joe, well, it's just about as ironic as Elon Musk handing out parenting advice. According to author and longtime Trump biographer Michael Wolff, Trump, at 79 years old, while being caught drifting off in the middle of White House meetings and televised events, well, his aides are completely losing it. Wolff says that the staff are now in a constant state of panic because you literally cannot wake him up on camera without causing a diplomatic incident. And I guess when they try to jostle him discreetly, he gets furious and blames them for his dozing. Meanwhile, White House officials and Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt are constantly insisting that Trump is in great health and his posture is not a problem at all. In fact, they say his relentless work ethic is to blame.
Scott, thank you. The president's been spotted out and about a number of times with bandages on his hands. Could you please explain what that is about? Secondly, he noted on Truth Social the other day that he had aced 3 cognitive tests. Could you please clarify when those tests took place?
I can do that at a later date. I obviously don't have that in front of me. The president has spoken about that quite extensively throughout the years. As for the bandages on the hand, we've also given you an explanation for that in the past. The president is literally constantly shaking hands. The Oval Office is like Grand Central Terminal. He is meeting with more people than any of you even know about on a daily basis. He's also on a daily aspirin regimen, which is something his physical examinations has said in the past as well, which can contribute to that bruising that you see.
And if you were to flick over to Trump HQ, aka Fox News, for some ear bleeding, you may hear him being compared to Edison, who was known to take some power naps.
On television, which meant the Don Trump Admiration and Ball Gobbling Society was forced to go into overdrive today to defend him.
If you sleep 3 hours or 4 hours a night, you're probably going to close your eyes, whether you're 79 or 49.
If this president closes his eyes for a moment, it's like, what's wrong with him? I mean, it is so laughable, Stuart.
Thomas Edison believed in the 10-minute nap, by the way. What would they say? We wouldn't have electricity, right? It's such a good point. Is that what you liberals want? No electricity? Because we will give that to you. This is fake news. I don't know. I don't know that much about Thomas Edison, but I have a feeling he took his naps when the cameras were off.
I mean, the verbal gymnastics is impressive. It's Olympic gold worthy. But here's where it gets really interesting, right? Trump's own voters are starting to raise eyebrows about his whole napping on the job thing. A recent focus group, mostly voters who switched from Biden in 2020 to Trump in 2024, told reporters that 11 out of 14 of them had heard Trump was struggling to stay awake during important meetings. One person said that Trump might be downplaying or hiding health issues, which, makes sense when he thinks that MRIs are routine.
Walter Reed mentioned advanced medical imaging. Did you get an MRI? Can you tell us what that was?
I got an MRI. It was perfect. Yeah. I mean, I gave you the full results. We had an MRI, and in the machine, the whole thing, and it was perfect. Yeah.
Did you say what in particular?
You could ask the doctors. In fact, we have doctors traveling with us, but I think they gave you a very conclusive. Nobody has ever given you reports like I gave you. And if I didn't think it was going to be good either.
Kristen, there's also something of an update from the president on his health. He revealed to reporters that he's recently got an MRI. What are we learning about it?
Yeah, I mean, it was this moment on Air Force One where we had asked a number of times, including the last press briefing from the press secretary, what kind of advanced imaging President Trump had gotten during his last trip to Walter Reed. Just a reminder, that had come out as part of the release. And the press secretary said she didn't know. Well, President Trump was directly asked on this plane whether or not he got an MRI, and he said yes, he did. Now, according to him, he said that the results were perfect. Unsurprisingly, it's President Trump. He did not say what the scan was for or why he ended up getting it, and then he kind of proceeded to say over and over again, "You already got all these results." But to be very clear, we had not heard anything about this MRI in particular. We were asking about it, but we had heard about this idea of advanced imaging. Of course, this just raises more questions since he had already had his original checkup. This was not a full year later as to why exactly he went in for this MRI.
Now, inside the White House, the panic is real and people are describing it like a ticking time bomb. One reporter even quoted White House staffers referring to Trump's late night online habits as a contributing factor, suggesting that going to bed at 3 a.m. tweeting about Fox News conspiracies isn't exactly the best usage of your time when you hold one of the most powerful positions in the world. And it's not like they can just throw to his performance as a means to deflect and say, well, so what, he's napping. You'll get tired too carrying around that heavy wallet thanks to the Trump economy. No, things are terrible right now.
But a Fox poll taken in November shows a vast majority of Americans believe the economy is not in great shape, and a majority also blame President Trump.
And historically speaking, the midterms are going to go against the president. The question is, how big is that margin going to be? But Dana said, rightly so, that was what my nodding was, that Donald Trump, if he says, I got you, I'm working on it, that people can hear that and that can resonate. But the problem is that it's not one night, it's not 2 nights, it's like 320 nights that he's had to work on it. And he's put into place policies that are making it worse. And last night's rally, I understand it's all going to be chopped up and that's how people are going to consume it. But it is basically an in-kind contribution to the Democrats. The midterm ads will be full of Donald Trump from last night saying, you can give up pencils. You don't need that many. You don't need $37 for your daughter. 2 or 3 is nice. So we're doing things right. Prices are going down. My favorite word is tariff. I just helped our farmers out because they're starting to do really well. The tariffs are making them rich. There is not a farmer that you could find to do an interview that is saying, I have been made rich because of Donald Trump's tariff policy. And last night, Democrats were also busy in Florida and in Georgia. So there's going to be a new mayor of Miami, Eileen Higgins, a Democrat, hasn't won there in decades. I know, before you say it, Brian, there was an independent who was in there in the early 2000s. Still, Kamala Harris won by 1 point, Miami County. She won by 19 points. We flipped another seat in Georgia. So far in 2025, Dems have flipped 25 GOP held seats. The GOP have flipped 0. That is the story of what's going on here. So you can say people speak Trump, they love the weave. I get it. I never loved it, but I understand that people like it. What they like more is money in their pockets, and he's not delivering on that.
So the more he catches Z's on TV, the less faith even his most staunch supporters have in his ability to do the job, awake or asleep.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.